Welcome everyone, one and all, to my reaction to Season 1, Episode 5 of Percy Jackson, A God Buys Us Cheeseburgers. I will never get over the titles of these episodes, like, what do you mean? But yeah, so last time we ended on a great scene between Percy and a Nereid. I can't remember if that's how you pronounce it or not. I saw the word and I was like, wait, is it Nereid? Nereid? I don't know, but great interaction between those two, which kind of hinted at the idea that it's not that Poseidon doesn't want to help Percy, it's that he physically can't. So very curious to find out more about that and whether it is a physical thing, as in like he can't be in the mortal world for too long, or if it's a matter of like there's a law in place that means he can't interfere with Percy, he can't interact with Percy, or third option could just be that because of the whole thing going on with the lightning bolt, he can't get close to Percy. Like maybe if he gets too close to Percy, Zeus is going to be like, look, I knew it, he did steal it, and then it's going to like be a war. I don't know, but very curious to find out more about that. If it is a law, then I wonder why it's in place. We know that there was a law about having forbidden children, but does it mean that every god has to follow this law? Because it does seem that way. None of them really interact with their kids, so I'm just very curious to find out more about the law in general, you know? But yes, with that said, very excited to get back into it and see how everything develops, so without further ado, let's go.
So we should probably get out of here, don't you think?
Oh god, they're creepy. They're definitely monsters.
Let's go find Percy. Annabeth.
He's alive. I know it.
Grover, don't give up so easily. Come on now. He's gonna be Gucci. Ah, the music. I love that.
Hi.
Hello.
I knew you never.
You could get a hug,
There
mate.
wasn't enough time.
I knew it, bless. Look at their friendship blossoming. You wouldn't have had this in episode 1.
So,
I felt like even Grover was taken back by that. He was like, wait,
you're not as dead as
Annabeth hugging someone?
the police think that we crashed an Amtrak train and then did that.
Oh my god, yeah, they've literally got like the law enforcement just after them. So they can't go on another train because obviously they're gonna be known, and they can't go in the sky because of Zeus. So how else are they gonna somehow get there? Unless, I don't know, no, but I was gonna say unless they steal a car, but ain't no way any of these people know how to drive. Maybe Grover, because Grover's technically older, but I mean, would a Satan know how to drive? I feel like no, because like when would they need to if they're masking themselves as kids? Guys, you can't walk there.
I mean, we don't even know who actually stole the thing. Or
Very
why.
true.
Or how deep this goes. I'm the last person to realize this, aren't I?
Yeah.
This is why everyone's so concerned, because like obviously Haley? Who the fuck is Haley? Hades can't steal it himself, so someone would have had to, and if we're going down the route of a demigod, what demigod would have done it? Percy didn't do it, and with Talia a tree, obviously it wasn't a forbidden child, so what other demigod did this? And then he said, how deep does it go? That's kind of got me thinking, wait, is this like some underground movement maybe? Like an underground movement of demigods to like fight back or something?
Says the river, it all feels different somehow. He saved me.
Yeah, it's just the connection with his dad that's kind of...
I guess I just really never thought that's something he'd do for me. So
Bless you.
why are you being weird with me again? I thought we weren't doing that anymore.
I'm not being
Interesting.
Yes, you are. You've been weird since we left the arch. It doesn't have to be a thing, you know? They hugged me.
Oh no.
I saw the fates.
Okay. The fates.
Back at the arch, I saw the three fates, and I saw Atropus cut a piece of thread.
Oh, I feel like I've heard about this in other fantasy shows before. It's like isn't it like the three women who like weave destiny? Am I thinking of that correctly? And what, by cutting that, they're signifying something bad? Like they're messing up destiny or something?
When you see a string cut,
It means one of us is going to die.
Huh?
we're all gonna die. Eventually.
Soon.
Oh, fuck. Is it like guaranteed, or is it something that we can avoid?
Three old ladies with a ball of yarn can't know what's gonna happen. What I
Percy,
choose
you
to
live
do
in a world of
changes what's
magic.
gonna happen. And I can choose to do anything I want.
I was gonna say, guys, that motorcycle just stopped.
I asked if you could use some help.
Nope. No, we're good. Appreciate you asking though, so long.
The three kids just hiding behind a barricade.
Because you guys are so behind schedule.
Yep. I was gonna say, this must be some kind of someone who like knows about their quest and all that.
As your big cousin, I feel like maybe I want to give you a hand.
Big cousin.
Ares.
Ah.
You must be Athena's kid.
One sec. I need to go to my list of gods and get an idea of who this man is. Okay, so Ares, god of war, brother of Athena, and Zeus's son. Interesting. Okay. So that was a little sibling squabble that he was having there when he was talking about Annabeth.
There's a halfway decent diner up the road. If you want my help, you'll meet me there. But don't dawdle. Won't wait forever.
Lovely. Interesting that the god of war is wanting to avoid war. I suppose a war between the gods is a different thing, though.
Give me a second. I'm just starting to fight on Twitter here.
Oh, for God's sake.
Percy was always troubled, but I never thought
Oh.
he was capable of something like this.
Oh my God. What a wanker.
A kid that messed up, what wouldn't he do?
Oh, you're such a dick, bro.
We really love that car. So much.
Funny how talking about the car is what set him off rather than his missing wife. Interesting.
If you're supposed to be looking for the master boat too, shouldn't you be out there looking for it?
Annabeth.
The Oracle said if we returned the bolt, there wouldn't be a war.
Is that what she said? Or is that what Chiron said she meant?
Interesting. I suppose it is all down to interpretation, isn't it?
He knows there's a war coming. And in reality, I think he's okay with that. I think
So he wants
feels
the
it's
war.
just time for a war, so we're gonna have a war.
But then you're sitting here and you're like, okay, I'm trying to believe this and I'm trying to think that you're being truthful. But then also you are one of the said deceitful gods. And not only that, but being the god of war, could you not be manipulating things so that there will be a war? You know what I mean? I don't really trust this man. Maybe he's the one wanting a war and he's the one who's like putting the seeds of doubt in everyone. But to be fair, from what we've heard of the gods so far, I wouldn't be shocked if this guy was right. I wouldn't be shocked if Zeus does just fancy a war.
There's an amusement park up the road. I left my shield there. You get me my shield back, and I'll get you to the underworld by lunch tomorrow with a plan to invade Hades' palace.
Why do you need them to do it? It was stolen by something, wasn't it?
We have a deal, or am I killing all three of you so I can eat in peace?
I feel like if you kill all three of them, there will be a war and it will be against you.
One catch. I really do need that shield back, so I'm gonna keep the satyr here as collateral so you don't run off.
What? No.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
We don't split up again.
It's okay. If you wanted to kill us, we'd be dead by now.
I don't know if this is okay, though. Because, listen, Percy and Annabeth are getting closer, but their communication skills are trash. I feel like we need Grover to keep that together, but we'll see.
Don't engage with them. He'll want to get you riled up, get in your head, and you can't let him.
It's okay. Really, I know what I'm doing. Go, get the shield.
I know what I'm doing. Does Grover have, like, something in mind? Is he doing his own little plan behind the scenes?
I've never seen any kind of movie.
Huh?
I'll have to take your word for it.
You've never seen a movie, Annabeth? What do you
What do you
mean?
mean never? Like never?
Suppose they don't have TVs at the camp.
Wait, Percy, stop.
What? Oh my god!
Celestial bronze is what your sword is made of. If you're a human,
shit.
it'll pass right through you. If you're a monster
Or a demigod.
demigod, safe to say this is not just some amusement park.
Mm-hmm.
Hephaestus.
I would have Hephaestus build
Hephaestus,
an amusement
okay.
park.
Who is Hephaestus? I swear to God, I'm so bad with names. This is why I can't, like, study this beforehand. Because even if I do, I won't remember. Okay, Hephaestus, god of the forge, so he makes things. He was crippled when he was cast out of Olympus by his mother Hera. Okay, and he is another son of Zeus. Oh, so if he's a son of Zeus, then he's going to be the brother to Ares. So this is definitely a sibling rivalry kind of thing going on here, and he wants his shield back. But why would he not tell Percy? It's like, there are two things that could be happening here with Ares. One, he just didn't tell Percy because, you know, YOLO, he's just having fun. Or he actually wanted Percy to die. Like, this was an attempt to kill Percy off so that, like, we would be guaranteed a war.
I get this. Just push through it.
Huh?
Because weren't you the one this morning who saw the fate say one of us is gonna die and we should take it really seriously?
Percy,
True.
Yeah?
just push.
Is it a test to see if you're brave enough to do it, maybe?
The machine isn't designed to hurt us. It's meant to scare us. It's a test.
But then why is the number going up? Why does it say 1 and then I assume it's now about to say 2? Maybe like 2 people are now in the park?
Hephaestus wanted to know anytime one of us came poking around this playground.
Ah.
I guess now he knows.
That's concerning though, because how are we going to be getting out?
We met at the solstice. On Olympus?
Protester.
Oh, I wasn't one of the protesters. I'm a fan.
Interesting. So there are protests on Olympus. Grover's been to Olympus. We're learning a lot here.
Satyrs are children of nature. Nature is brutal. Red in tooth and claw, right? Maybe unpleasant, but that doesn't make it untrue.
I don't believe what Grover's saying here. I don't think he's a fan, but what is his angle?
I like your mellower stuff. There's something cool about overwhelming force and a quick surrender.
No one talks about those anymore.
I mean, you got right to him, Grover.
So tell me where we met again.
What is Grover's plan? I'm so intrigued. He's obviously trying to get on his good side, but why?
Tell me the god of craftsmen didn't build this.
I'm not gonna lie, guys.
Ever
My
seen
screen
anyone?
is so dark right now. I can't see a single thing that they're looking at.
Ares has always had a thing with
Aphrodite. She's Hephaestus' wife.
Ah.
You're kidding. He met her here? In her husband's park?
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's disgusting.
Don't you even try to tell me not to be weird about this.
Didn't say anything.
I can feel you thinking it. This must be where Ares and Aphrodite got caught.
I was gonna say, if there's anywhere that they went in, it would be the... I just don't trust this, guys. I feel like something's here. Something's like guarding the shield, but...
I feel like I've heard this before. I think from Orthodontists' office, maybe?
You don't know this song? What do you mean?
Wait, I know
I think it's telling the story of Hephaestus.
She said this is what the gods are like to each other. This is the kind of family they are.
Why didn't you want to say that just now?
Because he's one of
She
them.
was trying to keep me away from you guys.
Yeah. Also, you guys, I wouldn't pin Annabeth in this, because the thing that we're understanding so far is that I feel like this is a thing that the gods do, like actual gods, not demigods. I feel like the attribution of that human side allows demigods to be a lot more human and a lot less susceptible to all of these bad traits that the gods have, because I think a lot of the bad traits that the gods have stem from the fact that they are eternal, stem from the fact that they are immortal, because I feel like when you live an immortal life, you can get bored in a sense that, like, you don't take things as seriously as they should be, especially when it comes to human life. And that's why they are so, like, what's the term? Like, they don't care, you know? They're just having these little squabbles, even if they mean that people get hurt along the way. Oh, God. Oh, God. Jesus. Where the fuck are we now? Ooh. There's the shield. What's it protected by, though? I'm scared. Oh. Percy, you're... Okay. I was going to say you're a son of Poseidon, use the water, but I suppose jumping out might work as well. Oh! Oh, let's fucking go. What was he doing? He obviously was controlling water in a sense there. That was sick.
Did you just pull me out of there with that water power stuff?
Yeah, he did. It was sick.
No,
Did you just...
I don't know. Maybe figuring this out as I go.
To be fair, yeah, he don't bloody know what he's doing anyway.
It's a machine, but how do you start the machine?
By sitting on the chair, but what happens if you sit on the chair? Oh look, there are like gears in the back of the chair. That's sick.
I love my job. But that night, when everyone's kids show up for the winter solstice, and I have to sit through their presentation, that night is the worst night of the year every year by far.
Oh, so like every single year, demigods go to Olympus and do some kind of presentation to the gods? What does that mean? I mean, we know that to even try and communicate with them, you've got to like do your burnt offerings and all that, and that's the only way that you can like get their attention. So maybe a presentation is to get their attention. It's a presentation of like, look what we can do. Like, we love you. Please give us some of your attention, please. I feel like that's the vibe that we're going for here, which, yikes.
One of those kids somehow walked off with the Master Bolt.
Says you. Who knows?
Oh, so that's what happened then. It was at that event that the bolt was stolen.
Not many people could pull it off. Someone Hades could have recruited for the job.
Says you.
Oh, is he thinking one of his kids then?
Was she always like that?
Athena?
Her sister, Athena, always making things more complicated than they need to be so people will think she's smarter than you.
Oh.
Thank you. I can't be the only one who sees it, right?
No. not at
Okay.
It certainly.
Grover, you are a master manipulator of this man. My God. He's not a smart one, is he?
And we're so sure that she's a genius and I, no owl, am not.
Totally.
I mean, I'm sure that you're not a genius simply by the fact that this 24-year-old is somehow manipulating
you
you.
being the one to find the lightning thief and not her.
What did you mean by that?
What?
Found the thief. We both know your friend didn't steal the bolt.
But Zeus thinks he did. Which is kind of all that matters, right?
Shut up.
Oh, so that's his angle here. Could this all be a plan to trap Percy then? Like Percy sits in this chair it locks him up and he's like, look, Zeus, I caught him. Here you go. Is that the whole thing that we've got going on here? Are the two brothers working together, maybe? Not brothers. He's not related to, well, he might be related, but he's not a brother of Hephaestus. Is that it? No, Hephaestus is a son of Zeus. Okay, so they are brothers. Maybe for once they put their differences aside then, and they're actually going to work together to hand Percy over.
The chair is the bargain. One of us goes in, the other gets the shield.
I'll do it.
And they don't come back out.
You're not pushing me into the stairwell again.
Yes, I am.
I'm not gonna let you this time. It doesn't work that way.
It's why you're here.
Excuse me?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
When I was choosing my team, I told Chiron I needed someone.
Oh, the whole idea of pushing down the stairs.
The Oracle chose you. The gods chose
Stop.
you.
It isn't about that.
What could it possibly be about if it isn't about that?
You're better at this than me.
Oh, Percy, I disagree. Like, you're going along this whole line of thinking in the sense that Annabeth only cares about the quest and not you. I think that the friendship that you have formed has absolutely made it so that I think she would override the quest for your friendship. I think she would save you over saving the quest. Genuinely. I think she's at that point now. And bless his fucking heart, I think Percy is genuinely completely undervaluing his importance in this quest, you know, like, Broski, we need you too. We need to find a way where neither of you are sacrificed here.
Believe me, I wish there was another way this quest succeeds. I just don't see it.
I don't know. Like, I'm saying you gotta find another way, but is there another way? If there isn't, then come on, we have to find a way around this. We're not sacrificing Percy here.
I'm not leaving the underworld without your mom.
Aww.
Thank you.
Oh, stop! That was so cute.
I was gonna say, when this quest is done, can you maybe swing back here and try to get me out of this thing?
You think you had to ask?
Oh, bitch, stop. I can't. These two are too cute. It's so nice seeing their friendship blossom. Oh, God, the way that she just immediately said about his mum, though. Come on now, my heart. Is he gonna, like, clamp his wrists or something? Ooh. Oh, it ain't clamping his wrists. It's getting his whole body.
I'm okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, fuck. What are we going to do now? Because we've got to get him back. Yay, we got the shield. There must be a way we can figure out to get Percy out of this. Maybe Grover, in talking to Ares, is going to convince him in some way that this isn't the route to go down. And then Ares can release Percy. But they said that Hephaestus himself has to do it. Ooh. Oh, nice. Can we, like, reverse the mechanism, maybe? So that it unlocks him? Who the fuck is that?
Can I help you?
Is that Hephaestus?
I'm not leaving without my friend.
Yeah, that isn't really how it works. It's kind of a one-way sort of thing. It can't be undone.
How do you know?
Because I built it.
Yep, thought so. For fuck's sake. So what, is he working with Ares then?
I know your mother was displeased with you recently.
Oh. Gonna
You
play
both
the
know
mother
how she
card?
gets. You walk out of here with that shield, you're a hero. On your way to the greatest glory. She will be proud, and you will be forgiven.
Oh, fuck off with that.
As it should be.
It isn't how it should be. Eat or be eaten. Power and glory and nothing else matters.
Damn.
Ares is that way. Zeus is that way. My mother is that way.
But I am not, and I don't want to be.
He isn't that way.
Aww.
He's better than that.
Aww.
Maybe I was that way once.
Wow.
I don't want to be that way anymore.
Oh, God, she even recognized within herself how this world has changed her, because it's the same way that we've seen before, where when you're just so in this world, when this has become your entire world, when you've been living at the camp for the majority of your life the way that Annabeth has. Actually, considering her age, it's like half her life, isn't it? But I feel like you don't really remember that much when it comes to the years of 1 to 7. But you get what I mean. She spent a good chunk of her life in the camp. She knows this world. She's grown up in this world. It has changed her. It has altered her. But this quest and being with Percy, this like breath of fresh air, you know, has allowed her to see the way that things are wrong, has allowed her to see the issues with their world, the issues with the relationship she has with her mother and how it isn't okay. She's become complacent. She has all of this love and trust for her mother, but why? What has she done to deserve that? So I really enjoyed Annabeth's growth so far.
I won't be like all of you.
Nice.
I just
won't.
I think he's undoing it. Damn. Good job, Annabeth. Showing the power of words. Welcome back, my boy. Also, can I just say, CGI-wise, though, that was fucking sick, the way that that encompassed him.
You're a good kid, Annabeth.
Aww.
I'll put in a good word with your mom for you.
Aww. I was going to say, from the story that we saw of Hephaestus, I'm not surprised that he had a change of heart, because, I mean, he's been mistreated by his family as much as anyone, you know? So, good on him. Get fucked. They're both back, and they have your shield.
Where's our ride?
Let's go. Don't tell me they're in the back of that.
This thing is going to be at the Lotus Casino in Vegas.
Ah.
He hangs out there. You play your cards right, and his personal driver can get you to LA in minutes.
Damn, okay. Let's go.
Don't worry. Your dad had plenty of kids he stopped caring about once he lost interest.
Wow.
You think you know who I am, but you don't.
Let's go, Percy.
If you aren't careful, you're gonna find out.
Oh, yikes.
So, thank you for the
You
emotional
got
news
some nerve to
story.
stand up to the God of War like that.
He was holding something back.
How do you know?
Because I think I got it out of him. I know who stole the Master Bowl.
Huh? Who? Does he think Clarice? Because Clarice is the daughter of Ares, and Grover's thinking that Ares wants this war? I suppose that would make sense, but I don't know. I feel like that's too easy. I feel like, considering we're only on episode 5, that's like too soon for us to find that information out. So unless Grover's going down a different, because like I'm interpreting what Grover said and I'm running with that, maybe he means someone else. But of the information that we saw Grover get out of Ares, I can't think of any other correlation you could make. Intriguing, but yeah, we're going to the Lotus Casino. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that's a movie scene that people do like. I think it's to do with, like, weren't they like, were they cakes? There was some kind of lotus thing, and I remember it like being psychedelic. I remember it being a drug of some kind, and it was like a really funny part of the movies. That's like the only thing that I remember from this latter half of the story. But considering we're having quite isolated episodes, I would say that next episode is definitely going to be the casino episode, and that's just going to be that. Then the episode after is either going to be like they're traveling to LA or the like beginning of going to hell, but I don't think they're going to finish it up. So I assume the next episode will then be hell, which, what's that? That's 3 episodes. And are there 9 or are there 10? Oh, there are 8. Okay. Interesting. Maybe not then. Maybe next episode Vegas, episode after hell, episode after Olympus? Surely. Unless we're not going to go to Olympus. I don't know how they're going to end season 1. I don't know if they're going to end season 1 with like the confrontation with Zeus and actually like laying all the cards on the table, or if we're going to leave on a cliffhanger and we're not going to see Olympus until season 2. Very curious to see that and see how all of that plays out. But yeah, great episode. Loved seeing the growth between Percy and Annabeth in their relationship together as friends, but then also in their own personal growth. We saw Percy get to a point where he's getting a little bit more comfortable using his powers. He's getting a little bit more comfortable within himself. And I think what it is he's been so reluctant to have any connection to his father. He's been so reluctant to think about his father as being someone that he wants to look up to. Whereas now that he's actually not developing a relationship, but he's knowing that his father doesn't completely just like not want him. He hasn't just completely abandoned him. I think that is allowing Percy to let himself connect to his dad a bit more through learning his abilities, through using his abilities. Because now that he's opened himself up to his father, he's opening himself up to all of those aspects as well, you know? But yeah, Annabeth, great development for her so far. She came into the series as someone who was very much taken by this world. She was very much someone who looked at this world, saw all of how everything was done, and didn't really question it. She knew that she couldn't have a relationship with her mother like she wanted, but she had accepted that. She's accepted that, like, oh, they're gods, it is what it is. Whereas now that Percy's come into it, and Percy's being like, no, that's not how it should be. They shouldn't be treating us this way. They should be being parents to us. Like, we deserve more than this. It's allowing Annabeth to actually look in herself and be like, wait, he's right. We do deserve more than this. We don't need... Why are we looking up to these people? Why are we begging for the attention of people who just mistreat each other all the time, who are just horrible to each other? Like, I don't want to be that way. So why am I giving you so much of my respect? And I've just really appreciated that growth in her. Really appreciated seeing the shift in her perspective of this world through Percy's influence, you know? Also really enjoyed seeing Ares this episode. I think that showing Ares this episode was a great way for us to see how the gods behave, in the sense that, like, they are not these all-knowing, all-powerful beings. They are so susceptible to everyday human things. Like, Grover was so easily able to manipulate him simply by praising him so much that he didn't even see the angle that Grover was coming in from, you know? Like, you can't say that you are some smart god after you just got tricked by a 24-year-old. Like, come on. So I do really like that we're seeing, like, the cracks in the armor of what we think gods are, you know? But yes, anyway, with that said though, I believe I've covered most of the things I wanted to talk about, so let's have a look at some Patreon questions. Right, first up, what are your thoughts on this modern interpretation of Ares, like instigating online fights? I think that was a really smart way, writing-wise, to show how these gods would have had to change over time, because we talk about war and we think of like the world wars, we think of these like huge battles throughout history, whereas if he's the god of war, he's the god of all conflict, he's the god of all fights, no matter how minor. So it's just really cool to think about how going into the modern age of the internet and how that's a huge way that people now socialize and interact with each other, how that would be influenced by a god of war. I think that, like, that's just extremely smart writing wise. I wonder, can anyone tell me if they know, is that like a book thing or is that a TV show writers thing? Because I really want to know whether, like, who came up with that concept, because that's so cool. But moving on, next up, what are your thoughts on Percy and Annabeth in this episode and how their relationship is developing? Also, what do you think about Annabeth's character development? I've spoken a lot about it. I didn't really speak about their relationship together though. I really like how it's like I said at the beginning, they needed the glue of Grover to allow them to communicate to begin with. I think their communication is getting a lot better with each other. Like Percy said at the start, I thought we agreed to not be weird with each other anymore. It's like they're being more open and honest, and they are just talking to each other with already the opinion that they're both friends, you know? Like, obviously Annabeth isn't saying it as easily, but Percy was saying that he considers them friends now, and I think that that's just allowed that door to be open where they can be alone together now. They can have these conversations and actually be friends. And yes, there will still be conflict. There always is when people don't when people don't blend well 1000%. Of course there's going to be a bit of conflict, but that doesn't mean they can't be amazing friends for each other. So really appreciate how we've seen them two develop separate from how Percy's allowed Annabeth to develop herself, you know? But moving on, our next and final question. What is your takeaway from Grover's conversation with Ares/Ares' reactions? And did you expect, from what we've seen of him so far, for Grover to be that calculated? I did expect Grover to be that calculated, only because I feel like in the protection of demigods, you have to be calculated. You have to see danger where it's coming. You have to always be on your guard. You have to be someone who is aware of every situation. I mean, he was trying to get Percy expelled from school because he had already planned out in his head that, wait, if I leave Percy in school, it's not a safe place. We need to get him out ASAP. A good way to do that would be to turn him in so that he gets expelled, so that we can then take him and keep him safe, you know? Like, you have to be calculated in that position. So I wasn't surprised by that. But in terms of the takeaway from the conversation, I like I said, I really liked how they showed how susceptible the gods are to everyday human things. Like, it was so easy to influence him and make him tell Grover what Grover wanted to hear just by praising him. Like, come on, that is so dumb. You can't sit there and say that you're some smart god when you do stuff like that. But the other takeaway is obviously Grover has formed an opinion on who took the bolt, but I don't know who he's thinking of, because we know that it has to be a demigod. The information that we got this time was that there is this solstice event that happens and demigods go to Olympus and they like perform for the gods, which also means that it was also like implied through that means that was the time that the bolt was stolen, because it was a time where demigods were in Olympus and they could have done it. So I think that his takeaway is that Clarice took it. I think Grover's takeaway is that being the daughter of Ares, it would be easy for her to do it and start a war. I mean, like, the whole point was that we want to stop the war, but he's the god of war. Why would he want to stop it? Surely that's the thing that he's been wanting for centuries, you know? But then you could take it that he loves human wars, not necessarily wars between gods, because that's a very different matter. But I don't know, it's all very confusing at the moment. I need to hear Grover's thought process, and I need to understand what he's thinking, because I could be the one that's going off on a whim here. He could not have meant Clarice. He could be thinking something else. I can't think of what else he was thinking about, you know? So very curious to find out more about that. But overall, absolutely fantastic episode. Favorite parts was definitely seeing how Percy and Annabeth have grown as friends, but mainly how Annabeth has grown, because it's been such a shift from who we saw at the start of the series, and it's just been really cool to see, you know. But with that said, thank you very much for watching. I've left a link down below to my Patreon, be able to find the early and uncut reactions to Percy Jackson and all the other shows that I do. Also left a link to my Twitch, my Discord, and my socials, so be sure to follow them if you are interested. And Jess, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.